Good evening, good morning, good night, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is Dan Anderson saying welcome to the Global Associate Meeting. We are joined on this webinar by none other than the incomparable Mihir Gudia. And I see as per normal, we got very, very good numbers. And we have people from all over the place, pretty much every market that we have any significant business there, and it's kind of a really nice thing for me to sort of look at the names and sort of see all of these people, and I'm not going to go in there and pick on anyone in particular, but you are all welcome to the call, and some of you are old friends. For those of you who are new to this is our weekly Pulse Beat. This is our weekly webinar in which Leo, the company, shares with its field what's going on, and we've been running this now for almost, I think it's 6 years, and we've missed two, one Christmas day when it sort of fell on that sort of thing, and for some other reason another time. So we've missed 2 in 6 years and run it like clockwork 52 times a year then for 6 years, and we're quite proud of that because we are a transparent company. We always believe in communication. We believe in telling people what's going on, and for us this is probably one of the key reasons why we've weathered the test of time and have the confidence of our field, because they know that we tell them straight what's going on, and we communicate and we drive things through. Now, we have a number of things to talk about here today. Like I will say later on in the show, if you like, the big one, the big webinar to attend is on the 20th. That's next Monday. That's when we're going to go through the new the new reveal, if you like, on Leo and where we're going as a business. For now, we kind of have the most important thing, which is recognition. And this is something that is always very good fun for me, because we start to do this, the recognition now at the director level, because usually we have too many people at the lower levels, and especially recently when we've had some very, very healthy sales, you really have pushed out all the stops and done well in all the markets. We've got some new directors from our Asia Pacific region. We have Liu Chi Ching, who's achieved the director position, £500,000 worth of sales in a left and right team as a bare minimum, and she's got to the director level. We have a second qualifier who may be on this call, or certainly he'll have some people on this call, Javid Akhtar, who is in the UK home market. I know that he's also building the business internationally, but it's very, very nice to see how our home market is starting to sort of pick itself up and gather, and it's kind of become like the lost child that we haven't supported the UK market in particular. We just have the executive headquarters there, and sometimes they think that you should do a special effort. No, we'll do a special effort where people are making a special effort, and that's where we go. But it's nice to see that the UK market is moving and is on the run, and I have to give a lot of credit to Amir Barlash and his team, because it's just turning into a very good market now, and it's starting to catch on in 2 or 3 different cities, and I'm looking very much forward to support that and go forward. Now, we have an event that we're going to talk about in London shortly. But what we're also seeing is a lot of grassroots activity, and especially our Chinese-speaking community is very strong with this. And I think every week we have probably hundreds and hundreds of small events like this one on your screen now are happening. So this is some of our Chinese-speaking community in North America who are just running a small little training and a small little sharing session. And this is going on everywhere in the world, of course, in the North Americas and in Europe and in Africa and in Asia Pacific and in Philippines and goodness knows where else. But these are the most important events, I think. It's not the big showy events that really count. They do something different. It's the grassroots strength. If the roots are strong, the tree will be strong. And this is where we are going to win when we build a Leo coin community that has this sort of educational aspect and sharing aspect at its heart. You don't see this in Bitcoin. You don't see this in any of the established coins. This is something that's unique to Leo, of course, and then to Leo Coin. And a very important thing to take that on board. There's a reason that we share these things with you. And if you have things like this going on in your market, you must share with us so we can get them up on the webinar, just to sort of share with the world what you guys are doing. Obviously, here's another event happening in China, the Liu Fuzhou Team Wu Yishan Fortune Tour. And I'm sure I got all of that totally wrong. But again, it's Leo members coming together, doing a training, doing a sharing, having fun together, doing something where they're building a community. And this is important stuff, because this is how we win. This is how we go to millions of members, by our members creating and shaping a community. Now, the other thing that I'm terribly excited about, in the Chinese calendar, we are now going to autumn. The first official day of autumn in China is tomorrow, the 7th of the 8th, 2018. And of course, this auspicious, very, very lucky date of 8/8/18 is on Wednesday. Now, up until now, we've been in summer. And it is kind of haunting, because I was speaking to Wendy Lee, who is a very wise young old brain on young shoulders, and she's was saying to me that we've gone through a very tough period for you, Dan, because you're a water sign. Apparently, I'm a water rat in Chinese astrology, and that means that I don't get on well with fire. And fire and water doesn't mix very well. And if the fire is strong, then the water struggles. And if the water is strong, then we obviously push up the fire. But we've had such, apparently, and again, I'm not sure I believe this, but I countries, Sweden, North America, Canada, Europe, heat records in Portugal just yesterday. And all the world. Well, now that we're going into autumn, that's all changing. Apparently, and I shared this with you all a few weeks back, apparently I've had 9 stars in Wendy's Chinese chart for me, in the wrong places, not working for me, and only 2 or 3 in the right places. Well, this apparently changes tomorrow. So I'm very excited about that, because if you believe in these sort of things or not, I'll certainly tell you this, that 2018 has been a very tough year, and I can't wait for autumn to roll on. Now, autumn is also a very important period in the Chinese calendar, and the Mid-Autumn Festival is when they do Chinese moon cakes and things like that. And that's kind of I don't know, I can't remember exactly when it is, but when that comes through, we will do some special Leo recognition of that, and there'll be some gifts and some things that we'll make available as a special little promotion or incentive. And for those of you from the corporate who are listening to this call, you heard it here first. Mid-Autumn Festival, look up the date and we will have something ready then. Now, going forward, we are also kicking off the new autumn that we're discovering with the live seminar and Discover Leo in London. And Andy Hansen is joined by Paul Southworth, OBE, Order of the British Empire, advisor to our board. And these 2 gentlemen will be sort of kicking off our training it's something worth participating in. If you're a Leo member, why wouldn't you want to be there? So you probably have live seminar credits in your back office. Just use them. Cass Suhail, connecting to audio. You've lost me for a minute there, haven't you? I am back. We've now got our slides gone all haywire. So this is what I wanted to promote, the live seminar we're doing on the 14th of September in Dubai. So this is the live seminar program that we're kicking off with here now, one in London, one in Dubai. And there's more trainings like this that are coming through shortly. But we're also obviously doing the executive trip to Morocco. We're doing the leaders trip to the UK. All of these things are coming together now. So there's a real sense of energy in the business. There's lots of things happening. And I wouldn't say that we've been in the doldrums. I wouldn't say that we've been resting on our laurels, but we're certainly moving forward now with gusto into autumn. So all good. Now Morocco, very exciting, and of course Brazil. And for Brazil, to talk about that, I am going to invite Mihir onto the call, Mihir Magudia, because not only is he the leading executive on the Leo Coin Foundation, not only does he do all of our external comms, not does he do all of our engagement with British Parliament and our advocacy for all things Leo and Leo Coin, he is also on this call, I think, the only one who's been to Brazil to scout out our venue for next year's carnival. Mihir, are you there?
I am, Dan. Thanks very much. And let me tell you, Brazil is an incredible place. If you look down the call here, you see so many people who had the time of their lives in Mauritius. It was an experience like no other. They talked to me about it when they were there. They've talked about it afterwards. I've seen some of the stuff they're posting on social media. Mauritius was something that I think lots of people on this call will certainly remember for the rest of their lives. And with Brazil, I mean, I hesitate, but I think we may have topped Mauritius with Brazil. It's an incredible, incredible location. It's a beautiful country. It's one of these countries that's just sort of got its knees bent and is just waiting to take the leap forward as one of the major global economies. It's full of entrepreneurialism. It's full of, it's got a very young resources. It's got a real open-facing government that's trying to modernize and develop one of the world's leading economies. Perfect metaphor for where Leo is, just on the cusp of greatness, just on the cusp of world domination, if you like. So we've got another massive exclusive resort just for Leo members. Everyone you meet there will be a member of the Leo family. Everyone you talk to will be there just for this event, just to support you, just to help you develop your business. If you go to the Brazil website, which I think was on the previous screen, you'll see a video about it. You'll get to see a bit more of the resort, a bit more about the country. It really is somewhere to behold, and it really is somewhere you do not want to miss. Now, last week, as I'm sure lots of you know, there was some superb sales, some superb developments in our business, and lots of people qualified, lots and lots of people broke that new associate, recruited that new person, turned them into an associate last week. And this has meant we've got lots of new qualifiers for the list this week. Now, Asia Pacific is leading the way, and I can see on our call today lots of members from there, but also from the Dubai region and from Europe. And really, those two regions you really need to push now. You don't want to be outnumbered when we get to Brazil. I'm very, very excited by what we can do in these markets. But I'm very, very excited about the businesses that you can all build using this incentive. If you love Mauritius, as so many of you did, make sure you're in Brazil. You know how Leo events are. You know what an incredible, it was got a bit out of sync. You know what an incredible way our members are treated when they're on these trips. And you know about the training, you know about the news, you know about the rewards that are shared just for making the effort, just for turning up. If you've already qualified, then many, many congratulations. I can't wait to see you there. You're in for the trip of a lifetime, a trip that you'll remember forever. If you haven't qualified yet, then what on earth are you waiting for? This is not something you want to miss out on. And all of the stars are in alignment for you right now. The DMS deadline for October, which we'll talk about on the next slide, is rapidly approaching. Use that deadline. Use it to develop your business. You've got the new news and the new story for Leo Coin. Use that as well. This is the time to build your business. And in addition to building your business, in addition to creating this life-changing opportunity, you'll get this incredible trip to Brazil, and I assure you, you don't want to miss out on it. You don't want to be left behind. It really is something that people will kill to be on, and I want to see as many of you there next year as we possibly can. So do what you can. Don't wait till it's too late, and don't miss out on what is bound to be another sold-out trip. So thanks very much, Dan.
Very, very well done, me here. I mean, you've actually been there and looked at the resort. I mean, what's it like?
It's beautiful. I mean, the beach is the beach is incredible. The people are wonderful, and beautiful as well. Obviously, it's somewhere that when you first set eyes on the beach in Mauritius, you thought there can't be anywhere more beautiful than this. I think in Brazil, facing the Atlantic Ocean, it may just top it. It's one of the greatest views you could see. It's a place to relax, a place to have fun, and a place just to enjoy the Atlantic Ocean rolling in to the beach. It's just
because I've not had a chance to go there yet, and of course I'm looking forward to sharing it with our members. But you actually went there, and the pictures that I saw was showing a resort that's sort of just one step further up the food chain somehow.
Yeah, it's a bigger resort. The rooms are bigger. The size of the place is bigger. Everything about it is just bigger and better and faster paced and more exciting. It's it's just an incredible place, and I can't wait to go back there.
There was something about sort of very modern feel and a sort of very sort of funky glass and architecture and furniture that I was quite impressed when I looked at the photos.
Well, there's something about Brazil, which is this fast-moving, forward-looking country. It's got such a young population that's desperate to succeed on the world stage. It's really passionate about its potential. It's really passionate about its future, and it's a really inspiring place to be. And I think all of that sort of feeds through the place we're going. It feeds through Rio. It feeds through the whole country, and it's a really great place just to experience that energy.
Yeah, because I don't think that we have the images right on this slide, because we have all of these absolutely extraordinary vistas. And when you look at them on a small screen, they don't make a lot of sense. But I have been to Rio de Janeiro before, and the Christos statue is amazing. The natural harbor of Rio de Janeiro is extraordinary. The Copacabana and the beaches are mind-blowing. And then the Brazilian people to go with that, like me here says. So for all of you who have not qualified, like me here says, what on earth are you waiting for? Because you have to break an associate, you're going to build a business. So why don't you use the incentive and the deadline of the end of October to at least qualify yourself for a trip of a lifetime as you're building your business. Now, one of the tools that we give you is deadlines. And for some reason, I don't know why it is, but deadlines is what drives people in our industry, and certainly in Leo as well. And so when we have a cutoff point, when people are going to lose out on something because something is changing or what have you, then people work really hard towards that. And like Mia says, we've had some incredible sales weeks just recently because people have been working towards a deadline. Now, by popular demand, we have extended the deadline till the 14th of August for the DMS, for the reward to still go out for the member for the 31st of October. If you purchase it a day later, you won't get that until the very end of the year. And looking at some of the metrics around this and some of the landscape and in mining in the mining industry, as many of you who are studying digital currencies and learning about that, you know that it's quite a tough place now, and the whole mining ecology is shifting. I was just reading with interest today about how Russia are going to the forefront because they have subsidized electricity, they have a perfect climate for this, and other markets are losing the ground that they had for different reasons. So the mining industry is a tough one. And the digital, the DMS for us has become a tougher and tougher product over time. So we have to be realistic and we have to be responsible. So we're pushing forward the first commitment to the awards that you get from that until we can be absolutely 100% sure that we have the hardware in place, etc., 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 etc. You know that story. But that means that for the next 8 days, 14th of August, you still can have this deadline that you can use to promote and incentivize your people to actually make a decision, and it's a good decision. So I would say that this is one of the tools that you're going to use to qualify yourself for Brazil. The next thing that you're going to use is the new emphasis and the pivot that we're making back to our roots of Leo coin. You've heard me talk about this now for the last 3 or 4 weeks, or 4 weeks, I think. And we're going and we're migrating Leo coin onto the Ethereum blockchain. There's all sorts of technological reasons for that, because it is, according to most analysts, one of the most advanced and secure and robust blockchains that are out there, and it comes with so many benefits for us in Leo coin. So we're actually going to take the leap and migrate Leo coin onto Ethereum, which creates a great story. And the minute I started talking about this a few weeks back, suddenly there was this little life sparking up in our very stable ecology called Leo coin, and suddenly the exchanges were registering increased volume and sales and prices going up. And me here, are you still around? Because you can talk about this much better.
My connection dropped out then.
Yeah.
So yeah, speaking as the Leo Coin Foundation, which hopefully everyone knows by now is this not-for-profit entity that kind of supports and promotes Leo coin and digital currency, that works with governments and journalists and regulators all around the world. We're very excited about the next phase for Leo coin. It's always been the mission of the foundation to keep Leo coin at the cutting edge, to make sure that Leo coin, from a technology point of view, can hold its head high amongst the very best coins in the world. And this move to the Ethereum blockchain that's happening is absolutely that. The new smart contract technology that we'll have access to gives us so many options about what we can do with our wallets, what we can do to incentivize certain behavior. We can really find ways of rewarding people who are truly building the Leo coin ecology and the Leo coin economy around the world. And we can do that in a very targeted, very specific way to make sure that everyone is being pulled in the same direction to support the development and growth of Leo coin. Excuse me. And then when we think about what we can do with the way that the Leo Coin Foundation just works with holders from more than just a smart contract way, we see that we have one of the fastest, most rapidly developing blockchains out there, which is the Ethereum blockchain, that's always being improved, always being added to, and we get to be part of that wave. We get to be at the forefront of that technology. So very exciting things should be happening for Leo coin in the near future. And then along with that, obviously, ought to come new exchanges and new ways of trading the coin, which all adds to the liquidity, which adds to the ease of trade, and hopefully adds to the number of people we can spread the good news to.
No, very cool, very cool. I like that. But could you talk a little bit more towards this point about more exchanges? Because we have listed Leo coin on many exchanges over the years, and you've been involved in some of that painstaking work, as it were. What happens when we go to Ethereum?
Well, when we go to Ethereum, there's a whole world of exchanges that only deal with Ethereum blockchain coins, which only deal with utilities or coins that are based on the Ethereum blockchain. And they will add new Ethereum blockchains, but not any other blockchains. And so by moving to this new blockchain, we gain access to another big world of exchanges. Now, the daily liquidity on Leo coin is fairly strong. Across the world, if you're trading on top BTC in Asia Pacific, plus Livecoin, plus a couple of other smaller ones, there's about $1 million a day, say, of Leo coin trading hands. Now, we're very happy with that. That's a great amount of liquidity for our coin to have. But I think with the move to Ethereum, we suddenly get access to a whole new range of very large exchanges that will find it much easier to add us, that will have it in their policy to add new Ethereum coins. And so we will be able to get even more liquidity, which attracts even more traders, even more crypto people, which means we should be able to reach beyond just the Leo community to a wider world of people who want to be part of our coin and part of our community, which obviously helps our members, which obviously helps the traders, which creates this happy, beneficial circle, if you like, of people using the coin and it growing on its own merits.
No, very, very cool. Because it's exactly that it becomes a plug and play or a push button approach to getting listed on a new exchange. Because if they accept Ethereum, they'll be able to accept Leo coin without any drama. So they won't have to do hard coding and all of this. So it means that we'll be able to go a bit more mass market. And fundamentally, our belief is that this is really, for all that we're talking about technology, this is not about technology. This is about community. And what we then have through you guys is the ability to build a community. And through the Leo Coin Foundation to incentivize that community to do the right behaviors in terms of adding merchants, in terms of duplicating, in terms of signing up aunts and uncles. So I think that this is the stage now, stage 3, where we really go forward with Leo Coin. Again, I didn't mention that so much, me here, but there's a chart there with what happened on CoinMarketCap. And just the minute we started talking 3 or 4 weeks ago about Leo coin, suddenly this long, stable, flat line of ours that is again very, very positive for me, because we have a coin that it might not have scaled the lofty heights of what Bitcoin did, but we didn't also drop the way Bitcoin and all the altcoin markets dropped. But suddenly there was a renewed interest, renewed volume, renewed price increase. Now, the situation that you guys will go into is that you'll have the opportunity to share stories with people. I was talking about this on the webinar just before this, and the Chinese are very excited by this because they know that most people don't understand digital currencies. They understand that most people don't know about the technology. They don't understand about the protocols. They don't understand about the cryptography about it, but they understand about stories. And the one story that the Chinese will get is you can buy 1 Bitcoin for $7,000 today, or you can buy thousands of Leo coin for the same amount of money. If you consider the price of Leo coin is what, 25 cents, for argument's sake, there will never be a bigger opportunity for people to catch a rise should we be successful with this. Now, me here is lined up with media, with PR, with advocacy. We will drive a big story of this, and what you guys have to do to support that is go to the market and speak to people. And I know that you'll be able to do that. Now, we have to do this responsibly. We have to do this without hyping the life out of it. But there is something worth hyping about here as well. So it's kind of one of those times, I think, when it will all come together. Now, just as a matter of housekeeping, obviously we have a global business and we have lots of offices around the world. On the screens, you see some of our office closures in August. But for those of you who are ambitious about the future, from the 20th, you will see what's coming. And it's kind of, again, one of those times to cancel everything and participate in this, because we will hyper incentivize you. We will give you the opportunity through hard work to really make something happen. Our focus is always going to be on learn, and your job is to educate people about the new technology that's coming through that's changing everything. We have our entrepreneurship training, we have our live seminars, all of that is good, but there's something very frothy about digital currencies. There's something very exciting about this space that people resonate with, but they understand nothing. And your job then is to educate them. So get yourself up to speed, study the market, study the technology, study what's being written about it now, like so many of our members do now, and they're sharing these general posts about digital currency, about Bitcoin, about Ethereum, about what's happening with regulation. Some countries are saying that these are currencies, others are saying that these are assets, others are saying that they're something else, they're a unit of measure. Some countries are against them, especially the ones that want to control capital flight and their own currencies. Others are embracing the technology. It's just one of those times when there's a receptive audience for someone who knows what they're talking about to go and explain what this is, and that is your opportunity. So this is, as you can tell, Dan Anderson, being terribly excited about where we are as a business. The next webinar on the 20th is the big one. That's the one that you want to promote to people, because between now and then, we're putting together a show for the 20th that will make your head spin, because that's when we're giving you the details. In the meanwhile, you have the DMS remote, and that's a surefire winner. You have a deadline to work towards there. People will not regret it, and you will not regret it. So make sure that you capture that last bit of sun before it settles beneath the horizon, if you like, in a beautiful sunset. And I'm getting all poetic now and all breathless because I'm so excited. So this is Dan Anderson saying thank you very much for your hard work. Thank you very much for your commitment. Thank you for your loyalty. And I look forward to seeing what we can do together. So over and out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And speak to you again next week.